Brandon Lang on the line right now. You want to make any extracurricular, take any extracurricular activity, and you want to make a bet. Before you do so, you might want to go to Brandon's website, brandonlang.com. Brandon, the Bills going in tonight, a 3-point favorite. What do you think?
Yeah, they've been good to me. Tough spot here, though. Jets 5-0-1 spread run. Bills on a roll, too, 5-1-1, but the Jets team's 5-0 against the spread at home this year. I'm going to buy the half point, take the Jets plus 3.5. This has just a field goal game feel to it. Off back-to-back impressive home wins over Tampa Bay and Oakland, but Jets playing for their life, Buffalo flat spot. I'm going to call for a field goal game. I'm going to take the Jets plus 3.5.
All right. I listen, I'm all in on the Bills, but I agree. This is a toughie. And short week never is. I don't think a short week is ever good for a team.
In this spot here, divisional game, and listen, not that you can ever ill afford a loss. Do like the signing of Kelvin Benjamin. Think that's going to be unbelievable as they go.
Yeah.
Defense leads the league and is tied with the Ravens with takeaways. They're also tied with Kansas City for the least turnovers. So they're doing everything right. But every once in a while in the NFL, you have a letdown, and this just seems like a letdown spot.
Speaking of Thursday Night Football, can I ask, this is more of an industry, I guess, question/conversation. Did I hear that maybe it was CBS or the networks are talking about they want to get rid of or greatly reduce Thursday Night Football? Is that right?
They have to for the health of the players. I've said it for years that people don't realize unless you've been able to get down to the sideline and watch an NFL game from the sidelines and be that close, only then do you realize the physicality of just how violent this game is and just how I had the good fortune of going into an NFL locker room on a Monday and seeing these guys limp around and get around and just the overall soreness of their bodies. It would absolutely floor you. And it made an impact on me that I will never forget. That some of these guys, the linemen, they're not normal till Wednesday, and then they're kind of getting their bodies back and kind of getting back to full strength on Thursday, and then you got your walkthroughs on Friday, and then Saturday you're like, okay, all right, I feel 100%. Now, you're asking these guys, especially after a physical game, that by Thursday, there's guys that are playing 70, 75%. And in the NFL, that's not going to get it done with the defensive linemen on the other side that are just, these guys are beasts. And these Thursday night games, it's from a health standpoint. But listen, gambling drives the NFL. Gambling drives college football. If you couldn't bet on sports, they wouldn't be building stadiums. They'd be building bleachers. I've said it for 25 years. And so if you can put a Thursday night game, let me ask you a question, guys. Last night you had the World Series. Tuesday night you had the World Series. There was a MAC conference football game. Last night, World Series, MAC conference football game. Why are you throwing a MAC Why is ESPN throwing a MAC conference game on a Tuesday and a Wednesday? I'll tell you why. Gambling, viewership, TV, bingo. I'm telling you guys, we're not far away from gambling becoming legal. It's going to happen in the next 5 years.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I think that'd be a... I just hate what goes on with this whole gambling thing. It's just you can stand in line at the convenience store for 20 minutes while people scratch off those tickets. But God forbid some local bookie places a bet for somebody, and all of a sudden they end up getting raided by the cops. I just don't get it.
Yep, it's hysterical. And Brent Musburger on the Real Inside Sports piece on Christie and the battle to legalize sports betting in New Jersey. He said it. When the Arizona State scandal happened with the point guard, who uncovered it? Las Vegas. They pulled it down. They uncovered it. So we're close. We are really, really close. But I like this fact of maybe Goodell having to resign, or maybe they're finally going to push him out. He's the biggest hypocrite on the face of the planet Earth. He really is.
Yeah. Dino Babers, I want your opinion on Syracuse. Obviously, the big upset, Clemson. They're playing very well and going in a favorite, I think, this weekend against Florida State. What do you think?
Yeah, they're laying like 4.5. I looked at that, and I was like, wow. What happens here is Florida State's definitely having a down year. No doubt about it. But you become a favorite in a spot where you haven't been a favorite ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so now what happens is that you're asking a team to cover a number, and I take that back. They're actually a 5-point underdog.
Oh,
and that's probably the lowest dog they've been there in who knows how long.
Yeah.
So now, from a value standpoint, one of two things has happened. Florida State in a must-win. Listen, let's give Syracuse their due. They probably should have beat Miami last week. That's how good they're playing.
Yeah.
To me, this number is normally a 15, 17, 21 number. Has Florida State really fallen 2 touchdowns from the mountain against the Syracuse team? Love the coach. Love his enthusiasm. Love what he's doing. I was hoping I would get a bigger number. I'm not. So from a value standpoint, I'm probably going to stay away because I just don't think we're getting value with the Q set of 5. And I think that value is created by the fact that they did play Miami so well. Listen, you got value with Syracuse over Miami last week with that double-digit number. Now they've stripped you of that value. Vegas finally learning, you know what, Syracuse is a little better football team than we think. So getting value on Syracuse happened the last 3 weeks. They've now taken that value away from you this week.
Got it. And finally, we'll throw the Giants game at you. Rams at the Giants, 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, they're in big trouble here. Unlike Denver, which just couldn't get after Eli and Trevor Siemian, and they just let Giants go in there and play well. This is a Rams team that is really kicking butt and taking names. Seattle went in there and got it done, but I'm not a big fan of laying 3.5. So if I do mess around with this game, I will buy that half point right now and make sure I lay 3 with the Rams. I think that line's going to go up by Sunday, and you're probably going to be laying 4, 4.5. I would rather lose with the Rams as good as they're playing that D line than take a shot with Eli after watching him imploding in Seattle at home, losing 24-7.
All right, before you do anything, go to BrandonLang.com. Brandon, love your insight. We appreciate it. We'll talk again next week.
Yeah, we're trying to win for a 4th straight week, so things are good over at BrandonLang.com, so knock on wood.
All right. Minus Formica. Sorry.
Got it. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks, man. Brandon Lang. Quickly, take a break.